Okay, Chairwoman Townsley, we're ready when you are.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to call the Public Arts Commission first meeting of 2021 to order. It is 5:11. Shall we take roll call now, Christina?
Yes. Okay, Commissioner Negus. Commissioner Hopings.
Present.
Commissioner Colwell.
Here.
Vice Chair Rudolph.
Here.
Chairwoman Townsley.
Here. Now I'd like to talk about the public comments. The public comment is the opportunity for members of the public to comment on any item. At this point, we have been asking the public to comment electronically or verbally by calling the city clerk's office. And at this time, I understand that we have no public comments. Is that correct?
That's correct. We did not receive any emails or phone calls.
All right, thank you.
And then, Chairwoman Townsley, did we just want to point out for the record that Mr. Negus is not here due to medical issues, so it's an excused absence?
Oh, certainly, thank you. Yes, it is an excused absence. He was going to try to listen in tonight, and I don't know that he realizes that it's a 5 o'clock meeting now. So maybe he'll come in at 5:30. We'll see about that. Okay, but thank you.
Can we do a motion to excuse his absence? That way, in case he doesn't log on.
All right. I'd like to make the motion to please make this an excused absence
Okay.
for
Second.
John. Okay.
Second, Commissioner Hopings.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Thank you. The agenda finalization. Are there any items on the agenda that need to be pulled or continued to a future meeting?
There are none.
Thank you. Are there any urgency items that need to be added to the agenda?
There are none.
All right. Right now, I would like to look at the minutes from November and December. Hopefully everybody has read them. And I'd like to know if there are any changes or any comments. Let's start with the November minutes. I have one correction for the November minutes, and it's somebody's name. Let me see, it's on page 2. It's on the number 2 staff update for November 9th. And it's at it's Cathedral Canyon Wash Murals. And I was to speak to an artist. His name is Gary High, but Gary is spelled Gerry. And his last name is High, High.
Okay.
So that's the only comment I have about the November minutes.
Okay, I got it.
Thanks. Would any comments?
No.
Nope. All right. I'd like to make a motion to accept the November 9th, 2020 minutes with that one correction.
Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, roll call. Commissioner Hopings?
Accept.
Commissioner Colwell?
Accept.
Vice Chair Rudolph?
Accept.
Chairwoman Townsley?
Yes, accept. Now on to the December 14th minutes. Does anyone have any comments?
No.
No. Do we have a motion and a second?
I motion to accept the December 2020 minutes.
I'll second.
All right.
Roll call. Commissioner Hopkins?
Accept.
Commissioner Colwell?
Yes, accept.
Vice Chair Rudolph?
Accept.
Chairwoman Townsley?
Accept. Motion passes. The now on to our meeting this month. It's a little different because we're really looking at a draft document that I would like to finalize in order to send it to council by January 19th. They have asked all of the commissions to send in a report. And the way we're doing it is we're looking at the next 5 years of what we imagine might happen. And of course, things will change along the way. But has everybody read the draft report?
Mhm.
Yep.
And do you have, there's so many sections to it, and I'd really like to know if you have any additions or deletions. Right now, we've got projects in the works that we're telling council that these are in the works, and passages, sculpture for Panorama Park, the structure and procedures plan that Deanna's working on, and one thing that it didn't say there, it says that it will be posted on the website and Facebook pages, but I also want to get this brochure done. And when we get some solid information that we can put in the brochure, I think it'll be visible there too. We're going to keep working on the Art in Public Places smartphone application. We need to finalize a contract with the Mary Pickford Theater for the sculpture that the city accepted quite a while ago. It's called I Feel Transported. And our staff will work with the city attorney to come up with a contract. And the last thing on the projects in the works is the search for a volunteer grant writer. Deanne, were you able to speak to SCORE?
Mhm.
And,
Not yet. We're waiting to hear back from them, but
yeah, yes, odd time right now.
Work.
Yeah, during holidays
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
We do hope that we have a grant writer that's a volunteer, but if not, Stone, I'd like to know if there's any chance that our money can be used to hire a grant writer. So that'll be a second part of this.
Would you like me to respond, or are you just?
I'm just talking here. I mean, Stone, I'm just hoping, I don't know, legally, I don't know if we're allowed to use our money for a grant writer. So that's the one thing I just don't know. So
I will find out. I know that Tammy Scott had talked about how they had, I believe, spent $75,000 in total applying for a variety of different grants several years back. And maybe with one exception, that was a $10,000 grant, they were denied on all of the other applications. She was of the opinion that it occurred because we didn't have any critical mass, namely we didn't have our own museum or something like that, and so that those funds were going to like the Palm Springs Art Museum or other more prominent facilities.
yeah, I would like to say something though. I looked at the last annual report they have from 17-18, and it showed the $27 million that they handed out that year. And I mean, $5,000 for a parade. There was really minor events happening all over the state that received the money. Not one dime came to the Coachella Valley. And that's just something I think that we should try to capture. Their only job is to spend $30 million a year. That's their job. So we should try to capture some of it, I believe. And spending $75,000 is daunting. And that's more money than I would suggest we spend on a grant writer. But I would like to keep talking about it. and especially after Deanne finds out if we can first find a
Mhm.
volunteer.
Sorry, Stone, I had a internet glitch. Did you say that those items that Tammy had funded before were for the arts or just generally speaking in the city?
It was my understanding they were for the arts. I'll specifically ask, but based on the totality of the conversation, they would have been for the arts, but I didn't
Okay,
have a specific question. I just assumed, and we know what happens when that occurs. So
Yeah.
not a problem.
Well,
I was
no.
just curious how that they can spend that much money and get no results.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree. And one of the, when she spoke to me about it, she said that one of the grant proposals was for an art piece at the amphitheater. And so it was just all part of a big proposal and the art piece was just a piece of it. And I think that the direction we would be going in would be much different than that. I mean, and especially if we can get the fountain fixed, that would be wonderful. And I mean, it's the only water we have in the city for the kids to play in. So I'd really like to follow that.
And the fountain needs to be taken care of now in the forethought, because by the time we do allocate the funds one way or the other, either directly through our budget or through a grant, it's going to take a while to get that all filtered through. And the next thing you know, COVID is going to be in the past, and that fountain's going to be looking bad and empty, and it's the centerpiece of the city, and we really need to address it one way or the other.
I agree.
that makes
So
sense.
so those are the projects in the works that we're talking about, that we're telling the city about, the council. But for 2021 projects needing council approval, what I've remembered here is locating and placing the Swiss cheese sculpture in Panorama Park, renting a space for a 2-month Cathedral City Artists exhibit. And that's my, my thought. I would really like to do that before my tenure is up.
And
I
it's a
have
good
spoken.
thought.
Yeah, thanks. I have spoken to the J.J. Harrington Gallery. It's quite large, and I've asked if we can maybe rent a portion of it or all of it, and we're going to talk. We're going to speak on the phone tomorrow, and I hope that that's possible. And I'm looking at May or June or even in the summer because COVID is, still a problem. So it's in the future, but even if it's in the summer after my tenure is up, I would still see that through. And we need to finalize the location and the costs associated with locating birds in flight sculptures in a Dinah Shore median. And we're looking to paint the utility boxes in Panorama and Ocotillo parks. Staff is checking with Southern California Edison to determine if the city is allowed to paint the boxes. So the city does not own them. Is that right, Stout? Yeah, so
Correct.
Those really are Edison. Okay.
The green ones with the little gold numbers, those are the ones that are owned by Edison.
Okay, good to know.
In Park, I believe there was 2 boxes. Fortunately, the larger of the 2 was the big green one with gold letters. That's an SCE box. The other one, which presumably is some sort of sprinkler control valve box, that is ours.
The next thing we have is painting the library's cement benches and one of them in the Vasquez Memorial Park. 8 at the library and 1 at the park. And also painting the library's book collection boxes. So that's what we have going in 2021 at this moment. And so we're notifying the city council of those. I have written here, and I believe this, it is heartening to place public art in Panorama Park during Mayor Gregory's tenure as he represents District 5, where that is. And I think that that's a really good point. And then I've got, let's see, with the arts education proposals, Live Arts is a newer addition to what public art is, as thought of in Cathedral City. And it's an exciting addition. And we look forward to assisting CB Rep in the future. And Tom, you are the liaison to CB Rep, is that correct?
Yes.
So in time, we may be able to help them. Do you know if they are going to use the amphitheater for staging their shows in the spring? I know they were talking about it.
It pops up on their website occasionally, but there has been no determination, no announcements of any type of performances at this point. I don't think we are allowed to in California.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other states I know are you can go through the state's arts council and get a special waiver, where you have to show your audience seating, the rehearsal procedures, all those things. But California has none of those. So I don't think that the theater has the ability to do it even outside at this point.
Okay, thank you. The Cathedral City High School band, the choir, the drama department, they have all been supported by Public Arts Commission in the past, and we look forward to helping them again when we can. If any of the teachers make a proposal to us and it's not signed by the principal, we need to speak to the principal before we agendize their request, because they've got internal things going on too, and we don't want to step on any toes. Now, I'm putting this request in, and I need your advice. Council, I would like the council to change the municipal code to allow the commission to have final approval for up to $1,000 for proposals from the Senior Center, Boys and Girls Club, and the library. These requests are usually time sensitive due to the time of year, available mentors, if the kids are in class, there's a lot of reasons. And I don't know if you're comfortable with that, of asking us to change a municipal code. Any comments?
I think it's needed.
Is that directed to me or the rest of your commissioners?
Pardon?
Oh, I'm sorry, Sue, I apologize. Was that directed to me or your other commissioners?
Oh, no, just to everybody. Yeah, please. I just want to know if what you feel about it, because I don't want to embarrass us if you don't want it mentioned. So, but I would like to, personally, I would like to make the point, even if it's turned down, I'd like to make the point that we would like the final approval. And mind you, they changed the municipal code last year for us because the code did read that we met twice a month. And we have never met twice a month. And so finally they changed that. And it was pretty easy. And any discussion about $1,000?
It seems to me that, given the what you mentioned about the timeliness of how these things work, it's not like these requests are, 6 months in advance. The time frame is much shorter. So, it just stands to reason that in order for us to be responsive to those kinds of things, something needs to change.
Stone, what's your feeling?
Yeah, so I think, Sue, and for Deanne and Scott, in the event that you weren't aware, was the previous discretionary authority $1,500 without having to go to council?
No. I mean, when I first started, it was $5,000, and then it went down to $2,500, and now it's zero.
Okay. So just so that Scott and Deanne, you had some sort of context on kind of where the Art Commission had been. And then unfortunately, I think due to some mistakes that had been previously occurred, the council ultimately decided that they were going to take that down to zero.
Mm-hmm.
So from several standpoints, the fact that, to Deanne's point, these things do come up quickly, and especially if it's kids or the seniors, or most people don't do these things with the Art Commission calendar in mind, thinking that, hey, if we want to do this, we have to reach out to them 60 days in advance.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that practical concern, which I think is an understandable concern. And then also from just the overall efficiency standpoint, it takes time, as you've seen, for us, for staff, to write staff reports, and it has to be in 2 weeks in advance. There's a lot of kind of bureaucratic rigmarole.
Mm-hmm.
And for the efficiency of your operations, it makes sense. I say that just so that you know that we support it. However, that decision is not made at staff level. And so
Right.
if the Public Arts Commission is going to change that, you're going to have to build support within the council members themselves. And maybe you can use the fact that this is a new commission, and this is a very good commission. The fact that you have got diligent and responsible city staff. Maybe you include Tammy Scott in that as part of the discretionary that she must sign off to.
Exactly.
That sounds good. I was
Yeah.
going to suggest that. That way there's some line of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Can I throw a couple things out there? Just
Please.
Please.
I mean, I guess variations or alternates or whatever. I mean, I think we're all in agreement with the point about the timeliness of approving these, especially like if it's, a summer camp for like Boys and Girls Club or something like that. There is, it's a short window. So I think we all are on that same page. I have two thoughts based on what Stone said about, getting the buy-in from the council. One would be, I would ask them a dollar amount that they were comfortable with. I would also, I think if I understood you, Sue, you were doing it like kind of a list of pre-approved organizations that are all like based specifically in the city, generally sounded nonprofit, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe if it's, it's a list of, these are repeat organizations that are all, nonprofit, serve our community. And if they come to us for a request, what's a limit that the city council is comfortable with? Then if it's still on the standpoint of they want like some sort of, they don't want like just an open-ended forever and ever open-ended, that makes my brain turn about like, fiscal year limits or whatever, which then flip-flops to another idea of a workaround, if you will, where at the beginning of each fiscal year, we send to the council in that first meeting here's how much money we want allotted towards art education, X amount of dollars. Here's a list of previous recipients that if they ask, we would like to be, pre-approved to distribute no more than this amount. So essentially it's not the same as, oh, the Boys and Girls Club asked for, $1,500 and they need it in 2 weeks. It's more of a like, we do a little bit of diligence at the beginning of the year and we say we want 6,000, 8,000, 10,000. No organization will receive more than 1,500, et cetera, et cetera. That gives the city council their checks and balances on a yearly basis. So yeah, I spent like 20 plus years in state government. So that's where my brain goes of how to work within the confines of the system, but acknowledge the realization of the major hurdle to use this money for some good in the arts education system.
Mm-hmm.
An excellent idea.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent, Scott. I mean, that, I say that to say, it's one of those, I guess, throwing that
this back to you, Stone. Is it a thing where you think we should each approach our councilman and ask their opinion on should we go for A or B and start the process? And then that way, instead of you wasting the time, I mean, does
Yes,
that?
I do. And so I think that your idea is an excellent one. And I think that it would be wise for you to contact your individual council members and really understand, do they support this? If they don't support this, why? Could they support your alternative plan? Because really this decision is held in their hands. Staff, I think, would, how do I delicately say this? Staff would prefer that you have some sort of the leeway so that you can respond quickly to opportunities that really fulfill your mission. Tom, you had something?
No, I agree with what everybody's saying.
So anyway, so we support you. We support the idea. I have no problem doing staff reports, whether it's for every single time. That's not the issue. So I have no problem if we need to do 10 of them a year for all of the different requests and going before council, or if it's one a year with your idea. But it's council is the one that had changed it. So if we're going to be successful, I think each of you reaching out to your council members, that's where the win is going to occur. And then I'll go before council, understanding and knowing who supports this, or that we incorporate their feedback so that staff can offer them something that they will support.
And maybe we should have something solid in our minds before we deliver this report to council, so they can see at least an outline of what we're talking about.
Correct. And then with their individual feedback so that they individually can get it.
So we're not just farting, a phone call or an email, and this is the first time they're seeing it. Let's wait till we deliver this to council, and hopefully they'll review it with some type of integrity and detail, not just breeze through it, and they can then see what we're going to ask them for each individual.
Yeah, because we could have a situation where they love Scott's idea and they have no problem kind of pre-blessing 5,000 a year or whatever that amount is for the senior center or for whatever, if we were to take a look at the historical stuff. So great idea.
And we did have the instant last, was it in November, where they did okay something quickly for us.
Yes, for the senior center. Yeah,
For the
well,
art
it wasn't,
project.
yeah,
Yes.
However, when they received it and when it was on their agenda, they approved it then, but it took time to get it there. And the videos were supposed to be November, December, January, and it turned out to, they didn't even approve it until November, and the check,
Gotcha.
and so forth. So there was a delay there.
Yeah, well, that's good. That'll show them what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There might have been one other, and I don't know who had suggested this, but is there a situation where we could put maybe one of these items, if we were to ever do it, and maybe this is included in Scott's plan or our collective plan, but that these items will show up as a consent agenda item. That's not the optimal solution, but that may be a little bit better of a solution than nothing. So just something else I throw out there.
Yeah.
But I prefer either carte blanche or Scott's solution before having to go before a consent agenda, because then it's essentially the same delay.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And I would rather not mention the consent agenda at this time. I would just,
Okay.
We'll ask for what we're looking for, and
What makes the
maybe
most
they
sense?
will. Yeah. So,
Sue, one question. When you get these requests, how do they usually show up? Are they written, or what's the usual mechanism?
well, there is a funding request form, and the Boys and Girls Club knows about it. So does the Senior Center, and so does the library. I suspect when the library reopens, they are going to want to put some programs in place that we might be able to help them with. But I am the liaison to both the Boys and Girls Club and the Senior Center. So they would ask me and I would give them a form and we would go from there. By the way, we have excused John Negus, but he has just left a voicemail for me saying that he wants to get on. And this was at 5:30. He wants to get on, but he doesn't know how. So just to let you know. Now, getting back to our proposal to the council, assuming that the city normalizes in some way, I have some ideas for 2022 and forward. So the potential projects for 2022, I would like to look for the kinetic sculpture for the community amphitheater park. Coda Gallery sells Lyman Whitaker's pieces, much more affordable than the pieces we were looking at by another sculptor. And I would like all of us really to really go online, look at Lyman Whitaker and see what kind of pieces you're interested in and what might look good in Amphitheater Park. Another thing is the Historical Society photos and postcards, the wraps on the downtown utility boxes. The preliminary work has been completed. The commission is waiting for Mr. John Corella to identify which utility boxes will remain after the traffic light signalization reconfiguration is completed. So, Stone, I'm going to ask, do you have any time frame on really when that might happen? Because I've put it for 2022. Is that possible?
Yeah, my sense in a recent conversation I had with Mr. Corella was that it could be something that we find out in the next 6 months. And so
wonderful.
As soon as I find out, if it's 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, I'll let you know, because I would love to get the more art up, the sooner.
Yeah.
So whenever he gives me the green light, and then also with your permission, this is really for the group discussion, is that if he tells me that there are 2 pedestals that he knows will not be removed, would the Art Commission have any problem with us moving forward on getting council approval for those 2? And then go through and get those things either painted or wrapped? As opposed
I
to...
think that's it. I think that's an excellent idea. Tom, you and Scott actually are on point for these boxes. So what do you think?
I do. I think it's a great idea, and I would like to move forward with it.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. Well, then, great. And I won't wait for all 5 or 6. Whenever we can get something.
Yeah.
I think
Wonderful.
Just get your
No,
nose
I've
under
got
the tent.
everything. We've got the outline, thanks to Scott, you know, on a computer program, and we've got the vendor. We just need to get
Excuse me one moment. John has just sent another message, Christina. It says, if you get this message, I'm downstairs at the door.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
so I'm just saying that there's an issue here.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and leave you guys for a minute because you're in discussion. And I will go and chat with him real quick, see if we can't get the computer here, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, perfect. So then
Getting back to the boxes, that'll be great if we can get a few done. Yes,
Okay.
let's try to do it. And because in 2021 we're supposed to use as little staff time as possible, those don't take staff time. So we'd be good to do those this year and not have to wait till 2022.
And I will go by and check out the boxes that Scott and I have picked out and see if they are have that the Edison thing that you were all talking about.
Yeah, green with yellow writing. Is that right?
Yeah, green with
Okay.
Yep.
yellow. Okay.
Yeah.
And then also really for everyone's consumption here, the goal with this is, I think that our plan is a good one and it lays it out, and I believe that it's reasonably conservative. If it's at all possible with staff time and staff resources to speed this up, then I would love to do that. So
Great.
I think
Great.
it's probably better that we set more reasonable expectations and strive to achieve higher ones versus the reverse.
Okay, thank you. You'll let us know. Another item for 2022 is the 9/11 sculpture in front of Firehouse 411, which is across from the casino. It's such a pretty firehouse. It looks so nice. And so, and I guess Tom and Stone are on point for those the 9/11 sculptures. Yes.
Just a little bit of, I wonder if I have it in my office here, just for a little personal history. We won't bore you with it, but I, by virtue of my involvement with the Sheriff's Department, I went to Liberty State Park on 9/11 to help with the patients theoretically coming over on barges, and then into Ground Zero on September 11th in the morning of September 12th to try to help out with what we thought was going to be a rescue. And so 9/11 thing was a seminal event in my life. So I completely support this sculpture idea.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
The
And I
next
have
item.
talked to the artist, and he's fine with waiting.
Okay, wonderful.
Hey, Tom, you said fine with waiting?
Yeah. If we can't get it done till this fall, he would like.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just did some math. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, he would like. I told him that everything is, on hold at this point, and he says he's fine with that. If we can talk about it maybe this summer or early, late summer, that perhaps we can get everything in place by this 9/11.
Well, so I happened to have a conversation with one of the firemen, Corey, and who was
that's the artist, Corey.
Corey?
Yeah.
The real tall gentleman?
I've never met him. I have only talked to him via text and phone. But his name is Corey. I don't have it with me exactly, but isn't that sound right, Sue?
Well, I know his name is Corey. I don't know if he's a fireman
I believe
or not.
his name was Corey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Well,
Maybe there's two people named Corey.
So Corey is the fireman, and he talked about trying to get this thing approved. And actually, Tom, I apologize, and I didn't catch this. Corey wanted to have, because it's going to be the 20-year the 20-year reunion this year. No, wait a minute. Year.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to have it done and installed for 9/11 this year for the 20th anniversary. And so maybe what we go ahead and do is, with your permission, we'll move this to this year, because that's
wonderful.
Is that something you can handle?
Yeah, and that's not going to take we'll have to have a base built, but I've already found a location for it that I think won't get in anybody's way. I'm going through all of my, sorry, I wasn't prepared for this. I apologize.
No, take your time. Let's just talk out loud here. Maybe what we do is we work to try to get this may be a little optimistic, but on the February Art Commission agenda, or maybe no later than, it couldn't be even March. How long is it going to take them, I wonder, to build it?
Well, that's why we talked about, when I talked to him last, I mentioned that maybe we can get the approval this summer, and so we can get it into place by 9/11 of this year. That was our last conversation.
Oh, 9/11 of this year. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. I thought 9/11 of 2022.
Yeah, that's where I didn't understand either. So I put it for 2022. But if we can, let's just move this up to 2021 and let's work on it. Okay.
Agreed. Yeah. And then
Wonderful.
Then that means on my end, we'll need to probably have conversations with fire department. We'll have to have a conversation with facilities for the base.
Yes.
But that's going to be a function of how big, how tall, wide, how much this thing weighs. So maybe what we could do is we can really light a fire under this.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, Stone. It's Corey Goddard,
Yeah.
and he works for the fire department. He was
Okay,
given our information by Chip Yarborough.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I'd be curious because I didn't get the sense that he was the artist, but I mean, it was just a conversation on a dirt lot when we were handing out PPE. So, I didn't have a pen and a paper in hand.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but I need to
No.
review my notes, but I believe that's at least what I've been thinking this whole
He is the fireman that spearheaded.
time.
Now, whether he's building it, I don't know, but he is the one spearheading this. So, let's follow up after this meeting
Absolutely.
and then figure
Oh,
out what
wonderful.
needs to happen so that we can get it on February. So we can, gentlemen, the artist, the sculptor, off to the races.
Okay,
Oh,
I will confirm
fabulous.
everything before we
Good.
have our agenda.
Thank you, Tom.
Perfect. Outstanding. Okay.
Outstanding is right. Okay, more for 2022. I have a sculpture in Dream Homes community. As you know, I had met with all of the council people, and Ernesto Gutierrez will be mayor in 2022, and he is suggesting a sculpture on the corner of Mission and San Luis Rey, which feeds into Dream Homes. So we can think about that. And it would be nice if we could do it the year that he's mayor. The next thing is a suggestion by Rita Lamb. She is a retired school principal and teacher and so forth, educator. She would like a field trip and tour by fourth graders to our downtown sculptures and the balloon mural on the Mary Pickford. She would like all of the council members to be there for, all of the commissioners there for the tour. Then she would like them to go upstairs to the city council chambers. And she knows that fourth grade is when you can really turn a kid into wanting to imagine a career. And so volunteers and things like that, and the sculptures and the painting, and she would like to do that. And so she will be mayor pro tem in 2022. And so I would like to have this tour probably once a year while Rita is there, mayor pro tem, then her mayor's year and mayoral year, and then when she's immediate past mayor. The last thing for 2022 are the street blades in the Cove, honoring 3 artists, deceased artists. Are there any suggestions to add anything to 2022? Stone, something I forgot to put on my list at all is the wash mural project. And so think about what year you would like that to move forward.
Okay. Thank you. I will. Would the Art Commission support moving that mural on whatever year we can fit that in? So let's say it's, for purposes of this discussion, 2023, but if we can get it in 2022 or 2021, then the commission would generally support that?
I would. I still have my homework to do with the flood control district, Riverside County. But how about, Deanne, Scott?
Mhm.
The wash mural, I mean, sounds good?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yes from Scott and yes from Deanne.
Yes.
So both in concept, the wash mural would be acceptable to pursue, and then in terms of timing, whatever year we could fit that in.
Okay,
Your next year, 2023, you're good with that?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
One thing I neglected to bring up when I was talking about the Arts Education Fund is I was at the market the other day, and somebody came up to me and they had gotten one of the free kits from the senior center for the video that was done by Ann Bedrick. And she just was raving about it and hopes that we do it again. And she just thought it was the most fun thing. And she got so many new little brushes and this and that. And she was just so happy. So we might be doing that again. So that fits into the arts education. Okay, now potential projects for 2023. Again, the field trip, exactly the same with fourth graders and so forth. And Rita Lamb will be mayor that year. The next thing, and Tom and Scott, we were working on the Century Park beautification, and I've thrown this in 2023. I don't know when it can happen, but we've got the 160-foot mural on the water basin retaining wall that you guys were working with an artist on, and a mural on one wall of the restroom building, which I had already spoken to an artist about that. A sculpture at the park somewhere at the backstop. Tammy had given me some areas that she thought that a sculpture could go in. So wherever she and Stone decide, but a sculpture would be nice in that park. And when I went to the park, this is not under our jurisdiction. However, the Century Park sign with a plaque and whatnot, it's falling apart and rebar is sticking out of it. And it's just, it's sad. And the benches that are around the children's play area are just, they're a mess. There are too few of them to start with, and they're awful. They look like they have splinters, you know, it's really terrible. So I hope that the city somehow can work on those. Also in 2023, I have looking at a sculpture on Date Palm Median by the Northgate Church. These are both Century Park and this particular median. Mark Carnevale, who is the council person for District 3, these are his hopes and wishes. Also, locating a sculpture on East Palm Canyon median. And I don't know exactly where, but this is Council Member Nancy Ross's suggestion. It's in her district, which is District 2, and she would be, in 2023, she would be Mayor Pro Tem, so it would be nice to get that done while she's there. Another thing for Nancy Ross also is the Ocotillo Park mural. There's so much wall space there, and that's in her district as well. And it really is screaming for something. So it would be really nice to maybe get Karen Riley and Scrap Gallery involved in doing a mural there. And also, I have the Bringus Bridge designs, and by 2023, it's possible that that's when the design needs to be decided upon. And I want to make sure that Stone and Tammy and whomever else works with Henry Bringus, the son, to make sure that it's what he's looking for. And I had shown him those tile works and whatnot before, and he liked those quite well. So, but we just need to make sure that Henry Bringus stays in the loop. Mm-hmm. Anything to add? Mm-hmm. Any other projects?
Yeah.
No?
What strikes me is that you know, by tying them to tying the projects to when people are in office, that seems like an automatic boost for, you know, getting approved.
For an approval?
Yeah. You know? So it's just, you know, I like that.
Yeah, good. Yes. Okay, let me go back then. The Senior Center, they received the Spotlight Award in January from the Berger Foundation. They give $25,000 a month to nonprofits here in this valley. And the Senior Center received it. And that means that the Berger Foundation does PR for them with KESQ and so forth. So the Senior Center is going to use these videos by Ann Bedrick as a showpiece. And Rita Lamb, who is council member for District 1 and the Senior Center, will be interviewed and whatnot by KESQ, and she's thrilled. And so it does all fit, Deanne, just listening to what you just said, it all fits in, and it's pretty nice.
Yep.
All right, so for 2024, we're getting down there now, but I've got another field trip that Rita Lamb would like, and she would be the immediate past mayor at that time. We're also locating sculptures for the roundabouts in Rio Vista. This is something that Mayor Gregory has asked for, but in talking to Tammy and Stone, there are some sort of legal issues and whatnot about the roundabouts themselves. So those have to be settled first before we can tackle putting a sculpture there. But so I put it out there at 2024. Now, I don't know if you've looked at Firehouse 411, but there are these indented areas, and we might want to do some murals of old fire trucks. This was suggested by the former fire chief, Paul Wilson, and right now they're just gray cement insets, and it would be fun to have fire trucks put on there. And there is a person in the fire department who has all the photos of fire trucks that go way back to when it was just a volunteer department in an unincorporated city. Christina, is everything okay with?
We're here. We're trying to log him in so he can view the meeting on his phone. So we're still working on it.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. All right, the date palm enhancement. What I have here, this also is Council Member Nancy Ross's suggestion, and she would be mayor that year. And in between, there's the gray areas in between the parts that look like giraffe skin to me. I don't know if you go on the Date Palm Bridge, but anyway, the gray areas, they also have rectangles that are the same color gray, but they're patterned in there. And she is thinking of having those enhanced somehow just to make the bridge more attractive. And there's 52 of them or something like that, or 52 on each side or 52 altogether. But it's something that she would be interested in having done. So I've thrown that into her mayoral year. And also she has suggested sculptures at Firehouse 412. And that's the administration area for the fire department. And that's in her district. And she even took a few photos of areas that she could imagine sculptures be put. So, and then 2025, we've got Dream Home. There's going to be a park built in the Dream Homes area when the CB link goes through. We will want to put a sculpture in the park, but I don't even know if it'll be done by 2025, but I just made note of it.
So when you say, real quick, can I jump in? When you say the CV link goes through, currently that CV link starts at Vistachino, goes down to Ramon. Were you talking about the connection from Ramon down to City Hall?
No, I'm talking about it's going to go directly on the wash, on the what do you call berm, right by Dream Homes. And is that still between? Let me think. Yeah, because it's Vistachino now.
Oh, the park. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I read that as okay. Yep. Nope. You're right. There's the engineering department is still working on trying to secure the funding for that. It's a competitive situation, and they're hoping that they'll get it, but we don't know if they will.
Right. So is just, mentioned just in case.
No problem.
So, all of you, do you have some more suggestions about things that we should let City Council know that we're thinking about?
I don't.
Nope.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's a great list, but I already knew about the list ahead of time, so I
Yeah.
already had the conversation. So it's great work, Sue. Thank you.
Before we close, do you want me to just to give you a quick update on the Swiss cheese that I'm going to bring to the City Council this coming week?
Yes.
Okay.
Just do this real quick. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Let me just grab this. Here, we'll share the screen. We'll do a slideshow.
Okay.
Do a slideshow, and there it is. So on your behalf, I'm going to be bringing this presentation to City Council about enjoying Swiss cheese in Panorama Park. That was the only cheeky comment that I made, but
Good.
So I did catch myself trying to say that Swiss cheese has not been enjoyed in our city since 2018, but I decided against it.
Okay.
Some people don't have, as bad a sense of humor as I do, so it goes either way. But anyway, so here are just kind of the basics. I've been trying to summarize these things to keep kind of just just the facts, ma'am, in terms of my presentation to the council. And then we've talked about here the actual art itself, 8 feet 2 inches tall, a little wider, 1,000 pounds. It seems a little heavy, but that is solid steel. So it's probably something less than that, but it's still probably accurate. And then also the base is going to cost about $5,000 because it needs to go down fairly significantly. That's relative to the Shig Shigley, so that this thing can't be pushed or blown over. So then here's just the basics of where it would be located. Here's the Panorama Park to orient it, and then here's the actual location. And so we just mount that at a 45-degree angle so that the person making the left turn and the person making the right turn it does not obstruct the line of sight. If it were in that direction, that could be problematic. So that have it at a 45 to the, I'm sure there's a geometrical name, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That way. And so there it is. And then that's it.
Oh, that's
Yay.
wonderful. Thank you.
Only took 3 years.
Yeah. And looking at Panorama Park, the way you had that, passages is on one corner, Swiss cheese will be on another, and that utility box is at the parking lot. And when might we find out from Edison?
Once I survive this week, we're going to see. I've got to launch the small business grant program tonight, and I have no idea. That's going to be remarkable to see a couple hundred businesses trying to simultaneously apply for it. So we'll see. What I need to do is I need to do 3 things. I need to get your business cards going. I need to go through and print the brochures, the trifold deals, and then the third thing is call an SCE. So that will get done. That's just.
Yep. Okay. Well, that's great. It's just while Raymond Gregory is mayor, we've got the whole year. It's just a matter of, it would be a wonderful thing to enhance his park while he's mayor.
Oh, well, in terms of that, my sense is that's something that could be done as soon as I get council approval. That foundation, those guys could work on designing it. I mean, I think theoretically they've already got the design, but work on bidding it. Well, it's already been bid out. Work on getting the contractor to pick a date to pour it. And then once it's solved or cured, then they could just, Public Works would go bring that Swiss cheese, mount it, and call it a day. So
be great.
I would fully expect that's going to be done here in the next few months. I don't want to
great
because I'd rather under promise and over deliver. And then also talk about Panorama Park. I touched bases with the JJ Harrington, Michael Lewis Harrington, just last week. We've got the checks reissued correctly. He had given us W-9. We paid him based on that W-9, but apparently the bank doesn't accept the name he put on the W-9. So it's taken a long time to finally get it straight. He gave us the new W-9, and then this week we are going to be, Christina has changed.
Hi, John.
Hi, John.
Happy New Year. How you feeling?
Happy New Year.
So we're
Welcome
going
back.
to have him sit here. We were having some trouble logging on. So I'll go ahead and sit to the side. I'll still be here to listen and all that good stuff. But this is our best option right now, okay?
Great.
All right.
Well, so then maybe what we can just do is just do a brief summary for John. John, we've had a very good meeting. We went through all of the items that were discussed on the staff report. We have moved up the 9/11 sculpture to get that done this year. Also, I was just giving the fellow commissioners an update that I go to the city council this Wednesday to get the approval to relocate the Swiss Cheese Foundation sculpture from our storage facility to Panorama Park. Of course, that's going to require the construction of a foundation for it, but that's part of the council approval. But also, right when you joined, I was just giving them an update on the fact that Shig Shigley is working on it. I've asked Mr. Harrington to check in with Shig, because I don't want Shig to feel like I'm jamming him up on the time. Nonetheless, Mr. Harrington is going to check in with him. Shig thought the overall construction of the passages should take about a month. As you may know or may recall, the foundation for the passages is already done. And I would imagine by now it is fully cured, or certainly will be fully cured by the time the passages is done. So my guess is within 60 to 90 days, we'll be dedicating the passages and then potentially even dedicating Swiss cheese, which then brings me to the last point, and that is we might need to maybe in February identify what type of event we would put together so that
was going to be my question.
Mayor Gregory could go ahead and officiate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And that's what we've got.
Okay.
Great.
John, I appreciate you making the effort to be a part of this. And obviously you must be feeling better, so that's good news.
On the mend.
Good.
Good.
Yeah. Good is right.
Okay, great.
Really suck.
Stone, has the Rainbow Crossing does need to be painted, and now it is the first of the year. Is it something that I should just nag Chris about to get it done?
Yeah, let me put that down and let me figure out what the protocol on that is.
We can get the volunteers. That's not a problem. Just
Right.
we need to know that we can do it and get the paint.
And the paint comes from Public
Yeah.
Works in the past, so I was,
Okay.
thank
what?
you.
Put that on my list here, and we will follow up on that.
Thank you. So John, gosh, did you look at the report that we were going to go over today?
I don't think I got it.
Here, I can-
Oh, she's got it for me.
Here. Goes on to the next
Well, we just went through the whole thing, but you please take a look at it and let us know if you have any additions or suggestions, comments.
Okay.
Thank you.
What's the date, Sue, that we're planning to present it to council?
Oh, thank you. Yes, we have, it has to be sent to Charlie, I believe, on January 19th, before January 19th.
Which is 8 days.
Okay.
Is this Sue? Is this a regular thing? Is it official policy that all the groups do a report in January?
First time I know, I've heard about it, but I will tell you, in the past, we as a commission met with city council and the city manager and the city attorney once a year. And we just brainstormed in a room. And but that hasn't taken place now for a couple of years. So I think this was Mayor Gregory's suggestion. And this will work. You know, all the commissions will. And I learned that the council members are also to write a report, kind of their reflections on how council works and so forth. So altogether, this will be a.
I was going to have them initial at the bottom of each page, but I'm glad that you said that, Sue.
Hey, Sue.
Wait just a second. I did ask Christina. It will be on Zoom. Their goal setting meeting. So I hope we all watch that because it'll be important. It's on January 30th is the actual meeting. So, and I don't know what time. Yeah. Yep. John?
Yeah, you mentioned that you'd get together with council and city manager and Brains.
Yes.
Do you know why that stopped?
No. I think time just got away from council. Yeah.
Because I think that's what I've been talking about.
Yeah.
Time.
Yes. And
it'd be nice to figure out if there's a way to kind of continue that again.
They know, Charlie knows, and Raymond Gregory, I've spoken to him. He knows that that's what we would like, but I don't know.
This is a good peer review to have something happen at least interactively. So
yeah,
it's a first good step.
Yeah. The reason about the report was that it seems to me that it kind of crystallizes things, and not saying that this is going to be 100% thing. If we got maybe 50% of those things done, that would be great. But the thing is, it seems to me like something that should be incorporated in the procedures document. That this happens in January or so.
That's really important. Yes, that would. When we when we watch the goal setting meeting, we'll find out what their plans are, and before we firm up the document that you're working on, and that would be a really important thing to be in there. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Structure,
yes.
Like that.
So, John, I what I hate is that you came at 5:30 and the meetings now have been changed to 5 o'clock. And so, we're at the end and you just got here and I feel, I'm sorry.
Oh, we're glad you're back.
Yes. Glad you're back.
I'm glad I'm back too. I've been out of commission for like 2 months. In fact, I forgot my mask. I haven't been out of the house in 2 months.
Yeah.
I forgot there was a pandemic.
Lucky you.
Yeah. No, not going away yet.
Yeah.
No.
Well, Stone just gave us his report and we can go to commissioner reports right now. Deanne, do you have anything you'd like to say?
No, hopefully in the next 1 to 2 weeks, we can get some things finalized as far as finding out about that empty commercial space off of Date Palm up near McCallum, I think is the next cross street. And also what we can find out about addressing the grant writer thing.
Yes.
One of the things as a fallback, if we can't find somebody to do it for us, is perhaps some coaching on how the process should go, for whomever, that might do it, whether it's us or, a city person or whatever. Because I don't know if any of us have ever written grants before, but to me, it's kind of another discipline unto itself, because not only you have to address, what people have asked for in terms of information about what your organization is and what you're going to do and your vision and all that kind of stuff, but also how to structure the thing that will come across to people, the significance of what you're trying to do.
Mhm.
So, to me, that's the real trick of it. That we can capture details and information, but how to present that in a way that people would want to get behind it, that's another thing.
Yeah. It's a job unto itself. I mean, grant writers are, very specific.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My experience with grants goes back 30 years, but you have to have a pretty clear vision about what you're trying to accomplish, whether it be a specific project or general support. And I think for a city, you would need something more specific than just general support.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
Yeah. I think about how you go about convincing people that, your project is a good thing to get behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott,
right.
anything to say, Scott?
No, nothing to add, really.
Okay. Well, thanks for your suggestions about the arts funding. That's going to be helpful. Tom?
No, just thank you, Sue, for once again taking a strong leadership and getting this outline done and working with Stone. And I thank you.
You're welcome. And John, do you have anything that you'd like to say?
I'm just glad to be
Commissioner
alive.
comments? Yeah, I'm alive. I mean, that's about it. I mean, I'm so pleased you're here. I really am.
Yeah, it's I still have some work to do, but I'm doing better.
Good. And I really don't have any comments to make except that the February agenda, I want those cement benches to be on there that we can approve and look at them and talk about the artists that we're going to speak to and so forth, so that later in February it can go to council. So
has anybody seen the benches in Palm Springs?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I haven't been to Palm Springs in a year.
They're wonderful.
Yeah,
they're wonderful.
And they're online. If you get on the Palm Springs Art Commission's Facebook page, they show them off with fervor and with glee.
And we're going to have to get after that to start having our own things to show off.
Yeah, we have to outdo them.
So
I looked at our Facebook page and there hasn't been much on it for a long time.
Oh, a very long time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so another goal is to have several benches.
At least social media.
On the February.
Yeah, February 8th will, I'd like, the 8 benches to be on there. Or no, 9 benches, yeah. Okay, 8 at the library and 1 at Vasquez.
So all right, so then the plan is to have all 9, to have proposals in, so that we can get that ideally on city council agenda. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
No staff needed.
That's right.
It's all good. Yeah, go ahead.
I've got a question for you. You probably already talked about it. Is there a timeline for the bridge being completed?
Yes, 2020. Well, let me check. Either 2022 or 2023. Could be 2023, but I'm going to pull that up right now and tell you.
I'm just amazed every time I pass it, how quickly they're.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
The sign says 22, I believe.
It looks like.
Let me see. Yes, anticipated completion 2022. Project value $24 million.
So maybe that's something we can mull over about how we participate with that.
Hey, real quick, if everyone would like to check this out, what is that gentleman's name? Remember Joe Wertheimer?
Yes.
Yes. Let's see here. Bridge. His wife sent me an article that was. There it is. With bridge almost gets done, artist gets busy. The publication is called The Acorn. And so I would suggest that y'all look at that website because his bridge, which is standing behind him, it's amazing.
Oh, gosh.
Standard, boring.
Send us the link, Stone, please.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to have that done through Christina.
Christina, yeah.
But it's so it is. He has taken a dull, boring Caltrans bridge, and he made it look like it is a wood bridge.
Ugh,
Oh,
he's amazing.
So, it is.
Amazing.
So anyway, all right.
Well, he could maybe do some Hispanic themed panels for this bridge, you know, and work with Henry Bringus on it, you know. It's a thought.
Yep.
All right. Any more comments?
No.
Then I believe that we're going to adjourn the meeting, and it is 6:28.
Thank you.
Thank
I'll
you,
be here
everybody.
time next time.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Everybody
John,
take
5
care.
o'clock
Stay
from
healthy.
now
5 o'clock.
Yes,
Mhm.
5 o'clock.
And
Everybody
on Zoom,
stay healthy.
on Zoom, right?
Yeah.
Yes, on Zoom. Yes.
For a while yet.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
got me out of the house.
Yeah.
Okay, I asked everybody to leave the Zoom meeting now, and we will be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
What do I do? Oh.